Let's talk about Serbia, beyond Belgrade. When people think of Serbia, the first city usually comes to mind is Belgrade. And that makes sense. Belgrade is vivid, layered, sometimes loud, sometimes poetic. It sits exactly where two rivers meet, the Sava and the Danube. So the city has always been a crossroads, a gateway, and sometimes a battleground. But here is the key idea of today's video. Serbia is not only Belgrade. Belgrade is the beginning of the story, not the whole book. So in this episode, we'll start in Belgrade and then we'll travel outward to Novi Sad and the wine hills of Gora, and then to Zlatibor, Užice, Mokra, Gora, and that peaceful lake and mountain moment where you stop thinking and simply breathe. If you like nice-to-know details, cultural contexts, and slow travel storytelling, this video is for you. Let's go! Belgrade is a city built on layers. You can feel it in the architecture and even in the street names. There are Roman remains, Byzantine traces, Ottoman fortifications, Austro-Hungarian influences, Yugoslav modernism, and a modern city that keeps reinventing itself. One of the most iconic places to understand Belgrade is Kalemegdan Fortress. From up there, you see the confluence of the Sava and the Danube, and you realize why this location mattered for centuries. It is not just a photo spot, it's a strategic viewpoint, a reminder that Belgrade has always been important in a very real historical way. Belgrade isn't only about history, it is about rhythm. Cafe culture is central here. People sit for hours, not minutes. They talk, they watch the city pass by. They actually take the time. That daily rhythm, human scale, social, present is one of the best introductions to Serbian life. And once you feel that, you're ready to see what lies beyond the capital. Novi Sad is in the northern province of Vojvodina. Novi Sad often feels calmer than Belgrade, more elegant, a little more introspective, and it is one of those cities that doesn't need to shout to be interesting. The highlight is Petrovaradin Fortress, rising above the Danube. People call it the Gibraltar of Danube, and when you see it from above, you understand why. Go up there and the view, yes, but also feel the scale of history. The fortress tells you that this region has always been connected to Central Europe, trade routes, and cultural exchange. Novi Sad also has a strong cultural identity, literature, cafes, galleries, and festivals. Even if you visit on a quiet day, there's an intellectual atmosphere, like the city invites you to slow down and pay attention. And then there is Vojvodina. This is one of Serbia's wine heartlands, and it's a perfect example of why Serbia is underrated. It's authentic, local, and still not over-polished. Wine tasting here is not a performance. In many places, you sit with the producer or someone from the family, you hear the story of the vineyard, and you taste the wines that reflect the land more than the marketing. It's personal, warm, and it's very Serbia. Fruška Gora is also dotted with monasteries and forest paths, so it's easy to combine wine with the nature. And this combination, culture plus landscape, is one of the recurring themes of traveling through Serbia. Now we move southwest toward the mountains, Zlatibor. Zlatibor is one of the most visited natural regions in Serbia, and it changes with seasons. In summer, it's about fresh air, pine forests, gentle hikes, and slow mornings. In winter, Zlatibor becomes a winter sports destination. This is a did you know moment for many travelers. Serbia can actually be a winter escape. You can ski, snowboard, and enjoy cozy mountain evenings without the intensity nor the prices of the biggest alpine resorts. Zlatibor also slows you down how Serbians approach rest. It's not only a tourist destination, it's a place locals go to reset. That tells you something about the culture. Nature is not separate from life here, it's part of life. Not far from Zlatibor, we arrive in Sirogojno Village. This open-air ethno-village offers a quiet but powerful insight into rural Serbian life. Traditional wooden houses from the region have been carefully relocated here, preserving architecture, craftsmanship and everyday domestic spaces. What makes Sirogojno special is that it doesn't feel staged. It feels lived in, practical, modest, and deeply connected to the landscape. Walking through the village, you begin to understand how closely daily life was shaped by climate, materials, and community. It's a reminder that tradition in Serbia is not something frozen in the past, but something that has evolved through use, necessity, and continuity. Continuing through the Zlatibor region, we reach Stópića Cave. This is one of Serbia's most impressive cave systems, known for its wide chambers and stepped limestone formations. Unlike narrow, dramatic caves designed to impress quickly, Stópića Cave unfolds slowly. Water, rock, and time are the main storytellers here. The formations feel less theatrical and more geological, shaped patiently rather than spectacularly. Visiting Stópića Cave adds another layer to the region, a sense of scale and natural process. It reminds you that Serbia's landscapes are not only scenic, but deeply shaped by time. From Zlatibor, we continue to Užice. Užice doesn't try to impress you with big monuments or grand boulevards. It's grounded, practical, real. Sometimes those are exactly the places where you understand a country best. Užice is also linked to one of Serbia's most iconic dishes, komplet lepinja. Taste Atlas has ranked it among top traditional foods, and it's easy to see why once you try it. Komplet lepinja is usually made with warm flatbread, kaymak and egg. It's rich, comforting and unapologetically hearty. But here is the point. In Serbia, food is never just food. Food is hospitality. Food is memory. Food is community. You don't simply order and leave. You sit, you share, you talk. And when you taste something like komplet lepinja, you realize that you're tasting a culture that values warmth and generosity. And it tastes like home. Next, we arrive in Mokra Gora. This is where Serbia becomes deeply cinematic. Forests, hills, misty mornings, and that feeling of being far from everything noisy. Mokra Gora is famous for the Shargan 8 railway, a historic narrow gauge train that winds through tunnels and valleys. It's not about speed, it's about the experience of moving slowly through the landscape. You look out the window and the world feels softer, quieter, almost nostalgic. And then there is Dervengrad, also called Kustendorf. This wooden ethno-village was created by filmmaker Emir Kusturica. Originally built for a film project, it grew into a living cultural space. It's not a museum, it's not a theme park, it's a place where art, philosophy and everyday life mix. Walk through it and you'll notice the details. Streets named after artists and writers, a cinema, a library, a church, cafes. The atmosphere almost forces you to slow down, as if the place is saying, don't rush it. Look, listen and enjoy. Surrounding Serbian Lake is Tara Mountain. This region is known for its deep forests, protected landscapes, and a sense of quiet that feels almost absolute. Tara is not dramatic in a way high alpine mountains are. Its power comes from density, trees, shadows, layers of green. Walking here feels grounding, almost meditative. Tara National Park represents another essential aspect of Serbia, nature as preservation, not performance. It's a place where the landscape invites stillness rather than spectacle. Hidden between mountains, surrounded by forests, it offers stillness. The water is clear, the air is fresh, and the silence feels almost luxurious. This is not the kind of attraction you rush through. It's the kind of place where you spend time doing nothing. And you realize that doing nothing can be the best part of your travel. And then there is music. From traditional brass bands you might hear at celebrations to contemporary alternative scenes, music is central to Serbian identity. You cannot talk about Serbian soul without mentioning the emotional depth of Balkan melodies. They hold joy and melancholy at the same time. They can sound like celebration and longing in the same breath. This brings us to Ederlezi. Ederlezi is more than a song. It is a ritual, a celebration, and a collective memory. Across the Balkans, it's associated with spring, renewal, and community, often connected to the broader tradition of Ederlezi, marking the return of life after winter. What makes Ederlezi especially powerful is that it has been carried across communities and histories. It has strong associations with Romani communities, and it also has traveled through the multicultural fabric of the region, where traditions, melodies, and symbols often crossed ethnic and religious boundaries over generations. There are also interpretations that connect springtime rituals and themes to renewal of Jewish communities in the Balkans, especially in cities where Sephardic Jewish life once formed an important part of the cultural landscape. The deeper point is this: Ederlezi can be heard as a shared language of rebirth and hope, shaped by coexistence, movement, and memory. And this is why, when you hear it, you don't just listen, you feel. So why is Serbia still underrated? Here are the main reasons not to. First, authenticity. Serbia has not been over-polished for mass tourism. Experiences feel real, not staged. Second, value. Food, accommodation, and experiences offer strong quality for the cost. You can eat beautifully, travel comfortably, and still feel like you're discovering something rather than consuming it. Third, human connection. People are warm, direct, genuinely curious. Hospitality is not performance, it's part of the culture. And finally, diversity. Within manageable distances, you have cities, wine regions, mountains, forests, rivers, and lakes. You can combine Belgrade's urban energy with Novi Sad's calm culture, Gora's wine stories, Zlatibor's mountain air, Užice's local flavors, and Gora's cinematic landscapes, without needing endless travel days. If you're planning a trip, think beyond Belgrade. Start there, yes, but don't stop there. Add Novi Sad for culture and wine. Go to Zlatibor for nature and winter sports. Taste Serbia in Užice. Slow down in Mokra, Gora. And if you find yourself by a lake like Serbian, allow yourself to pause and simply be. Serbia reveals itself to those who stay a little longer, look a little closer, and travel a little slower. If this video helped you see Serbia differently, please like the video, subscribe, and follow more for slow, meaningful travel stories. A few quick nice-to-know notes if you're planning this route. Serbia is drivable, distances between regions are manageable, and the road trip aspect is part of the charm. Belgrade to Novi Sad is straightforward, and you can build your itinerary around a few key bases. Also, don't underestimate how much the seasons change the experience. Summer gives you long evenings and strong cafe culture in the cities. Autumn is beautiful for wine regions and forests. Winter brings a completely different mood in Zlatibor, snow, warm meals, and quiet mountain atmosphere. And one last detail that matters the most. Serbia is a place where the conversations happen naturally. If you're open and respectful, people will often share recommendations you won't find in guidebooks. Where to eat, where to stop, which viewpoint is worth the extra 10 minutes. That human layer is part of why Serbia stays with you. If you enjoy slow travel, cultural storytelling, and destinations that challenge our understanding of modern life, you'll enjoy what's coming next. The world is full of stories waiting quietly in corners. Follow me here and let's explore them together. Thank you for watching.